Hi guys, I'm back. It's the whole next day. I just wanted to finish this video really quickly. Yesterday's video was 7 ways we let prison wife life become wait, become your own prison. I'm sorry. First, let me introduce myself. I am Cadillac Dixon. I am the Draw My Life Prison Wife. I am a legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. I am hoping to see justice before it all fades to black. If you would like to see any of my artwork, I do have a playlist that shows all my artwork concerning prison life, being a prison wife, different things we've been through. It is, I believe it's called I'll put it in the description what that playlist is. Check it out. I do my art for justice. And then I also, if you want to check me out rapping, I have a playlist of different songs I have wrote and record that are prison wife related, dealing with different situations. I do have another playlist that shows my just regular rap, but I try to actually separate them so that if you're not interested in other music, it's not gonna interfere. It's like prison wife music. Okay, I do all that for justice. And I do it to try to get my husband's story out about being wrongfully convicted and excessively sentenced in the state of Florida. For 20 years, he has been in Florida's DOC wrongfully, and I have stood by his side from day one. So I have been a prison wife for 20 years now. He has a 40-year sentence, and he has about 17 more years to go on that 40-year sentence. So, oh, shoot, I didn't get to do the thing though, girl. Hi, I am Cadillac Dixon, the Draw My Life prison wife, the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before it all fades to black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. So, we yesterday, before I was going to work, I squeezed in my YouTube content, and I really just I'll get into those feelings after this because I only had one more point to make when it was time to drop the phone, drop what I was doing, because Marcello did call. But if he hadn't have called, I probably would have been late to work because I didn't realize I had went past the 3 o'clock hour. I only had about 30 minutes to record that video, and if I went past any, I would have not had time to get my uniform on and get to work. Baby, I pushed it, barely got there, barely, like for real. But yeah, so I had to end the video there, and I was on my seventh point. So this is 7 ways we let prison wife life become our own prison. Okay, so if you want to know what 1 through 6 is, look in the description box. I have part 1 down there. I would recap it, but I really want you to go see that video. I had some good issues in there. You may be able to relate to, and that's the whole thing about a prison wife journey. Um, the more you find that person that you really just relate to, and you start feeling like you're not alone, and that's the one of the biggest hurdles in being a prison wife, is that you feel alone. You feel like you're the only one. You feel like you're crazy. Like, why are you doing this? Like, you don't understand. Then when you start seeing that, hey, it's a lot of other women that feel the same exact way that I feel, a lot of times you don't feel so, you know, you know, bad on yourself or beat yourself up so bad, because it's not just you, it's a lot of women in these situations. So I'm going to get into number 7. This one is the hardest for me, I believe. Comparison. Seeing others. Now, y'all know I'm legally blind, so I'm trying to see what this says. The words look kind of swirled together, so I have to find out like what it actually says, because every word has a drop shadow. Okay, comparison. Seeing others. Oh yeah, seeing others men come home and feeling like that day for you, for your own happiness, is so far off. that it entraps you. Now, it entraps you. And for me, give me a red heart if you can relate to me. Possibly you don't feel the same way as I do. I don't know, because I'm struggling with this, the comparison game. Like I was saying in a video that I just recorded not too long ago, where the things that they say to prison wives, it was something like that. Oh yeah, when someone asks you, so you're a prison wife, how much time did the judge give him? And I was talking about when you have your other prison wife sisters that you visit, and all of that, y'all getting cool, y'all sometimes hang out outside of visitation, and her man is coming home. Like, girl. So no longer are y'all like on this prison wife journey together. Okay, that situation. Then on social media, if you're in these prison wife groups, I was explaining in another video, I'm not sure which one that is, where it was like all you're seeing, like I started finding comfort in those groups, but soon after I had to leave a lot of them, and because it was every day somebody was announcing, oh, my man's coming home, and the big celebration, or they got that video of him walking out the gate. Like, girl, oh my goodness. Like, oh my goodness. Yes, I had to leave that. And it might sound like I'm a sourpuss or whatever. I'm happy for you, girl, but I can't see that every single day. I can't see everybody else's man coming home but mine. I'm so sorry. Because every time you see that, you reflect back on your situation and you wonder why it's not for you. Are you like less than? Why is all of this happening for everyone else but you? And for me, it's like, I'm going to get real with you. I have prayed for this. Like, prayed. Like, a long time I've been praying. I've seen prison wives get on this journey after me, and they're done. Yes, we're done. I've seen prison wives that are, you know, every day somebody's husband's coming home, which is fine. I see it as like, I always make analogies, like you're in line, you get into the longest line ever. Back in the day, we used to hate to go to the DMV, but they got their stuff together, girl. It ain't that hard no more. But you used to hate to go in the DMV, right? Because it was a room packed full of people and everybody has a number, right? And you pick number 462. Okay, girl. Oh my gosh, look how long I got to wait. But you do know, at one point you might wait 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever. But at some point, your number gonna be called. Yep, your number gonna be called. And it feels like 452, it looks like they've called all the numbers in front of I'm sorry, I said 462. They call all the numbers in front of 462. So now I'm like, it's my time. It's almost my time. It's almost my time. And girl, they start calling 562. I'm like, hold on, no, wait. Y'all miss me. You miss me. You miss me. Where's my number? Did you call me? I go up to the desk. Is he getting out? Is anything going to happen? No. Go sit back down and wait. And you're like, girl, I waited. Like, I waited and I waited and I waited and I was patient. I wasn't tripping. I was trying to do everything like a lot of things that I do, I see other people do, and it clearly just works for them. And I'm like, I'm waiting, like, such as petitions. I've had a petition. This is my second petition that I made for my husband. And I have seen somebody just literally make one. It take off like wildfire. They didn't have to beg and plead everybody to just look at it like I do. I beg and I plead, and it's grown a little bit, but it's nowhere near enough to make an impact. So that's not going to be something that's going to bring him home, unless people start sharing, which is very hard to get people interested in your husband's story. It is almost impossible because, and if they are prison wives, they kind of really only care about their husband's, case, which is understandable. You got to fight your husband's case. Most likely, nobody else is going to fight for him. I should do a video about that, on how you can fight his case. And it may seem like, girl, but you ain't got nowhere. Yeah, but a lot of things actually do help others. And emotion, specifically, that somebody, by me being online all the time, sent me emotion. And Marcello allowed somebody to watch it. And baby, he coming home off of that. So because of the research I've done, I haven't been able to get Marcello home, but somebody else's loved one is coming home, and it's due to work that I have done. So you start like, dang, why reflecting back and comparing? Oh, well, he didn't do as much time as my loved one, or she didn't do, so you're online and you're seeing it, you're in person and you're seeing it. Then you're doing it with people that are not even involved in prison wife life. Like maybe just your family. Maybe you're a sibling and you're like, all my other siblings seem to have gotten it together. They got their little husbands, they got their little kids, they got the whole life that I just wanted. That was all that I wanted. Simple life. They got it. And you're like, why can't I have that? You're looking at your friends. They have been married. If they're not married anymore, either they're happily married and they're doing things together, they're having fun, they're going on trips, or maybe they're not married anymore, but at least they got that chance to be married. She got to see how it was. She got to have her kids before baby making factory closed down. So it's a lot of things. And that, I think, is the most detrimental, that beats me up. And even in the situation, like with my husband being wrongfully convicted, it's really mind blowing, because I'm like, a wrongfully convicted person, clearly it should be much easier for them to, fight their case, or get out. Like, how do they have him, who should not even done 1 day in prison, they're longer than people that have done their crime and they've done their time. I'm not, you know, harping on that. I'm a 100% advocate of that. You did your time for your crime, baby, you're free. We cannot attach that to you for the rest of your life. We have got to allow people to change and to grow, and allow them to be, they've gained their freedom, so we should allow them to live in their freedom. But I'm thinking, you would think, if you didn't do a crime, you would be at the top of the list for people that, need to get out. And it seems like it's not. It really feels like, and I'm in a point in my life where I'm not going to leave them. That's just not going to happen. But girl, I see my life passing, um and I'm like, is it ever going to happen? It's literally only two ways that this can play out. I've been fighting for him for 20 years, and I could be almost to that point where my husband finally comes home, or I just have to buckle down and fight 17 is a long time, 17 more years, and just wait until he ultimately is just released from his wrongful conviction. Now, the part with that is, who knows if I'll be here in 17 years? Who knows if he'll be here in 17 years? Who knows how much time we have left after 17 years? We would have spent our whole, and these are my fears, I'm just telling you guys my fear. We would have spent our whole life together, fighting to be together, but never really together. That's scary. And the only way for me to get that out my mind, which I'm gonna tell you what Marcello told me the other day when I don't know. When I went down that road, that's how he refers it to. Oh, you're going down that road again. Um, ugh, the way for me to get through that road, because he was saying, look, you have work you gotta do. There's things you gotta try to do. Like, when I went to the representative, she offered me to come on her radio show. I still haven't been able to make connection with her. I've been trying, back and forth email tag, but that could be a possible way to break his story. All it takes is for his story to break. I have had a DJ that had said she wanted me on her show. Like, I'm like thinking back, like, hey, what happened to that? Why didn't we never do that? Like, it was other YouTubers that had reached out, and we were talking of, doing a show together. And I don't know, their path probably went one way, our path went another, and it's like it just didn't happen. And I'm like, so why didn't that happen? So there are possibilities. There are things. We have a couple of new issues that we can fight. One dealing with the robbery statute here in Florida. We're trying to look around for lawyers on that. That situation is so frustrating to me. I hate talking to lawyers. It puts you in that begging position, almost like, please, sir, help me. Like you were a beggar, and it makes you feel like I'm clearly lower than you, and I need to reach up to you for your help. That's how I feel when I'm, because some of them clearly make you feel that way. Um, so those are the things I need to be doing, but I cannot do those things if my mind is, I'll go into shutdown mode. I will shut down. If I feel like I can't do anything, I'll be like, "Huh, okay, I can't do nothing," and I'll just go and I'll lay in bed for hours upon hours. Like, I don't want to get there. Once I get there, baby, I'm not beneficial to him nor myself. So that's what he's saying. He's like, yeah, you got to stop comparing, because every time you compare, you go down that road where you don't want to do anything. You go down that depressed road. So I have kind of got to keep blinders on, which is hard. Like, you got to keep your blinders on. Girl, nobody else's sentence matters. Some have short time for worse crimes, some have longer times. And this is how Marcello put it in perspective. Now, but girl, don't say later when I'm complaining about it again, but girl, you said no. I'm human. I'm not perfect. This is something I struggle with. So I'm just being honest with you. So he was like, um, you're saying that all these people get out, and I'm like, yeah, because it's like with social media it's harder because you're seeing everybody living their best life. And he's like, well, how do you think it feels when they're always calling somebody to go home, to pack their stuff, blah 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 blah, pack your stuff, you're going home? Or you're talking to somebody in the yard and they're like, oh, I have only one more, week, or one more month, or one more year, or something like that. Like, he said, how do you think that makes me feel? Like, I'm always seeing someone go home. I have seen somebody go home, come back, and go home again before I even had the first chance. Like, I have seen a lot of that. But then he said, also, I have seen people die in here. I have seen people that are not going home. They have life. And what you're not understanding is we don't have the worst sentence. And it kind of put it in perspective for that moment, girl, because I'm still finna wallow. I'm just playing with y'all. But it put into perspective that, hey, we don't have necessarily the worst sentence and the worst outcome. Though it looks like, and that's probably just the enemy for me, just having me focus in on, because I was watching this thing called High Five Yourself. I can't think of this lady's name, but I'm gonna start trying that. It's like, when you get up in the morning, you high five yourself, and it puts something in your mind to, it's something psychological where your mind always want to gravitate towards the negative. And when you start doing positive things, first you're gonna be like, girl, why am I doing this? But later it's gonna trigger a something in your brain that, opens all this waves of positivity and outcome. It was a video about actually manifesting things. And I literally want to manifest that Marcello is coming home. I am tired of hoping for it. I'm kind of tired of praying for it, girl. I know what you're going to say about that. Like, but it's been a long time. Like, literally, come step in my shoes. Can you imagine 20 years of this? And thinking that 20 years later you'll be closer to that, and seeing yourself 20 years later at the same place you were when you started the journey 20 years ago. So I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of asking people for help, knowing that this situation is outside of my hands. I need the help of somebody else. But like, again, for me to ask for help, it feels like I'm a beggar, like I'm just uh so anyways, before I go too far on that, and before I say too much to where y'all just mad at your girl, let me stop. And it's like, but the whole point is you got to stop comparing. And I know I'm the one to talk, but this is what's going to help us get through this time. We have got to stop comparing ourselves. Do your journey the best that you can do your journey. You're human, I'm human. Nobody's perfect. I cannot stand perfect people. Like, when you try to tell them your problems and they're like, "Well, just do this and just do that." Girl, if you really have this problem, could you just do this and just do that? Most time people can't. They tell you what sounds good. They don't really tell you the truth. When in all actuality, if you told me the truth, I think it would help me more than if you just told me what I wanted to hear. Because when you tell me the truth, I can relate to you. I can't relate to that, the sunny rainbow skies and stuff like that. Not right now. But okay, so those were the 7 things. But I guess comparison had its own video, because that's something big. We cannot compare each other, which is hard with social media, because that's the whole point of social media, to compare. So I was mentioning before that I was almost late to work, because your girl is a YouTuber. First and foremost, in my heart, I'm a YouTuber and I'm a graphic designer and I'm an artist. I'm a creative, all to wrap that up. So I work a 9 to 5 because I have never been able to make a living, pay a bill, not even a Netflix account off of my artwork or my YouTube. Not even that little. I can't even pay tolls off of this. Like, nothing. So I've always had to work a base job. And that is a struggle for me, because really, for me to be, on time, to have my uniform ready, to do this, to do that, you have to kind of put that job first. And for me, if you put the job first, you won't be able to do those things that you really want to do. I won't get those videos recorded. I won't get them editing, though I'm leaving the editing alone until later when it's more beneficial. I won't get that done. I won't get certain things. I won't be able to fight on my husband's case. I won't be able to advocate for him online and in person. I won't be able to go to different events if I'm solely focused on this job. But for me to get to work on time, do this, do that, I have to kind of like, so your focus is here or there. It's hard to focus on both. You're doing this. You're focused there or there. Okay, so because this is what I truly want, my more of my focus is this way. So the job, I'm struggling to keep together. I'm always rushing to work. And I'm like, girl, every time I want to go record a freaking video, I find myself running into work, barely getting there on time. And I'm like, dude, I'm 40 years old. You would think by 40, the 40-year-old woman is usually not the one always running late. That is usually the younger person that possibly, I don't feel like going to work today. I stayed out all night, or you know what I'm saying? And not no diss to younger people, because each younger person is different. I wasn't that type of younger person, and I do work with some that are very, I don't care how young they are very professional. But you do have those younger ones that haven't quite been through life, that they just don't understand. And you wouldn't think the 40-year-old is the one that's always late. The one that doesn't have a freaking. Yesterday, I couldn't find my name badge. I can never find my apron. I can never find any of those things because that is not my focus. Like, I'm each moment trying to squeeze something that I can do, and then I'm late to what I need to do. So, yesterday, your girl was late. The video before, I told you I was going to let you know how that turned out. And that was the situation where I was talking about Marcello having hearing from him. And you do not just stress on that first day because anything could happen. So literally what happened that day, and I said I would let you know just so you can see how we just get alarmed for basically nothing. But don't get alarmed on that first day. I give it like 2 days. And he called the next day, but the reason he wasn't able to call me was because he said, number one, he thought it was Saturday or something. And usually Saturday he goes to classes in the morning. And he thought I worked later, which in all actuality, I worked the morning on that day. So he missed me. Um, no, I worked. I don't know why he wasn't able to call after, but it does kind of get into that count time, and we are in two different time zones. So it does get into that count time, and then after count, a lot of people try to rush onto the phone. So it could have been possibly something like that. But in all actuality, he was fine. So I would have been worrying for nothing. So that's what I was saying in that video, that you got to learn how to balance prison wife life and regular life. Because, girl, if you don't learn that, you're going to be alarmed like all the time because there's always something going on within the prisons with your loved one and out here. All right, guys. Thank you. Um, I got a few more hours. Let's see what time it is. I won't be rushing today. Oh, see, it went over. It's 11:18 a.m. I swear I thought I would be done with this video by 11. I had only one point to touch on. I didn't think I would still be here at 11:18. So say I had to be to work at 12 something. Now I'll be running and I'm late. But today I don't have to be there until like 4 p.m. So we're going to go and check on my contacts. Like, girl, I'm tired of being legally blind. Like, for real. I broke my contact like over 2 weeks ago. These glasses, I showed them to you before. You can see them. See how one is like super, super, super duper thick, and the other one's thick as well. But even with them being like that, I don't see clearly through them. Like, I can't see clear through them. It just fixes my vision a little bit. The clearest vision for me is my contact, which my contact doesn't 100% fix my vision as well. So it's my vision, which is legally blind. I have 20x in one eye and I have 2200 something in the other. So with the glasses, it fixes a little bit to where I can see. I still have all these drop shadows and things like that. But your brain has to focus in on, like, what am I looking at? What exactly do I see? Like, you got to think about it. You can't just be looking. You need to think, what am I looking at? And sometimes you're thinking you're looking at one thing, and as you look at it, you're like, oh, it's something else. So I'm at that stage right now. And then with my contact, I'm pretty much good. I don't have a lot of trouble. Sometimes the trouble is when they hurt, because I do wear hard, rigid contacts. They hurt like heck, and they hurt your head, or when you're on the computer, things like that, which I'm always riding out on the computer. I am a YouTuber and a graphic designer, so your girl always on a computer. Things like that. But your normal day to day, you're a lot better off. So this is a struggle, but it also makes you grateful that you still have some sight. You still got something. Like, and that, I guess, pertains back to that prison wife light. I mean, though me and Marcello don't have the best situation, we still got something. There's still that much hope. All right, guys, so I'm gonna wrap it up. It's your girl Cadillac. Please drop me a comment. How do you think I'm doing? Is the videos getting a little bit better, like actually touching on topic? I know I'm not dropping as many pictures as I used to and things like that, but are you vibing with your girl, like for real? All right, see you guys later.